Hello everyone, welcome to ITLS Academy. This is continuation part of mouse embryonic stem cells. This is part 2 and we will discuss some left out things of mouse embryonic stem cells. So starting with our topic, targeted differentiation of mouse embryonic stem cells. The point is, here are three different ways to direct mouse embryonic stem cells differentiation in vitro. In the first example, mouse embryonic stem cells are directed to generate primitive blood vessels. In the second, mouse embryonic stem cells are directed to become neurons that release the transmitters dopamine and serotonin. And in the third, a series of experiments conducted by the same lab group that generated dopamine neurons. Similar conditions are used to direct the differentiation of mouse embryonic stem cells to yield pancreatic islet cells that are responsible for the secretion of insulin. Making vascular progenitors from mouse embryonic stem cells. First point, in the mouse embryo, blood cells and blood vessels are formed at roughly the same time. That is, when blood islands first appear in the wall of the yolk sac. A recent study showed that mouse embryonic stem cells in vitro could be induced to follow in vivo developmental pathway. Next point, in vivo blood vessel formation occurs in two ways. These two ways are vasculogenesis and angiogenesis. If we talk about the vasculogenesis, then this helps establish the blood island and the capillary network that connects them. During the process of angiogenesis, that is the process of formation of blood vessels, new blood vessels form by remodeling or adding to existing vessels. Both vasculogenesis and angiogenesis are regulated by the action of a series of paracrine growth factors. Shinlechi Nishikawa grew differentiated embryonic stem cells on collagen coated dishes in medium containing fetal calf serum but no leukemia inhibitory factor. What is this leukemia inhibitory factor? We have seen in detail in our previous lecture of mouse embryonic stem cell. You can refer to that if you do not know that what is leukemia inhibitory factor. This experiment was for the to make vascular progenitors from mouse embryonic stem cells. The scientist Senrichi Nishikawa of Kyoto University, a graduate school of medicine in Japan, and his colleagues tried to mimic this in vivo pathway for blood vessel formation, and then they started this experiment by growing undifferentiated embryonic stem cells on collagen coated dishes. So this experiment induced the generation of cells that express FLK1. FLK1 is a receptor. This also studied in our previous lecture. So FLK1 is a receptor for vascular endothelial growth factors. Several days later, these cells began to differentiate. It appeared that the mouse embryonic stem cells had differentiated into FLK1 plus precursor cells, and which then give rise to both mural and endothelial cells. Coming to the next test was to see whether the mural cells and endothelial cells generated from FLK1 plus precursors could assemble into primitive blood vessels in vitro. They did by growing hundreds of FLK1 plus cells in collagen gel suspension with fetal calf serum and vascular endothelial growth factor. Tube-like structures formed within 3 to 5 days. This change in the culture conditions allowed the embryonic stem cells to grow in suspension and interact with each other. As a result, these cells spontaneously organized themselves into tube-like structure that resemble blood vessels in vivo. The final test, coming to our next point, the final test was to see whether the FLK1 cells generated from mouse embryonic stem cells in vitro would differentiate into endothelial cells and mural cells in vivo. Again they did. FLK1 plus cells were engineered to express LAC-JIT and injected into the developing heart of stage 16 to 17 chick embryos. The donor mouse cells populated blood vessels in the chick's head, yolk sac, heart, and regions between the somites, forming endothelial cells and mural cells in those regions. So these the experiments not only demonstrate the power of directed differentiation of embryonic stem cells into individual cell type, they also show that embryonic stem cells can generate multiple cell types that are spontaneously organize themselves into tissues that resemble those in vivo, making dopamine neurons from mouse embryonic stem cells. We will see in this experiment how we can make dopamine neurons from the mouse embryonic stem cells. So starting with our first point, Ron Mackay and his colleagues reported an efficient technique for inducing mouse embryonic stem cells in vitro to differentiate into dopamine neurons of the midbrain and serotonin neurons which normally populate the hindbrain. The resulting differentiated nerve cells look and function like their in vivo counterparts. Mackay and his co-workers devised an in vitro system for controlling the differentiation of mouse embryonic stem cells into midbrain neurons that release dopamine and hindbrain neurons that release serotonin. In this experiment, in the stage 1, undifferentiated mouse embryonic stem cells were dissociated into single cells and plated at low density. In stage 2, the cells were induced to form embroid bodies by dissociating them and replating at a higher density on a non-adherent surface. Stage 1 neurons expressed high levels of OXT2. This is OXT2. This was a signaling molecule which decreased in stage 2 and stage 3. OCT1, that was also a signaling molecule, was not expressed until the cells reached stage 3. The whole experiment is shown in this diagram. You can see here this is the structure of blastocyst. These are inner cell mass cells. Inner cell mass of blastocyst. As we know that this inner cell mass contains embryonic stem cells. So, undifferentiated embryonic stem cells are separated from this inner cell mass. You can see these are undifferentiated embryonic stem cells. After culture, after differentiation, they formed embroid bodies. These embroid bodies, when grown in ITFSN medium, that is insulin, transferrin, fibronectin, and selenium, these were nutrients that were present in this medium, and in short this medium was named as IDFSN medium. This nutrient medium is a adherent substrate. So after growing of these embryonic bodies, there is selection of nestin positive cells. So selection was proceed into steps. In a first phase, N2 and BFGF Lagrange medium is taken, while on the other hand, next medium was taken N2, BFGF and B27 media supplement. This is expansion phase, and in expansion phase there were nestin positive neuronal precursor cell and nestin positive pancreatic progenitor cells were selected. These cells further grown, and these nestin positive neuronal precursor cells remove BFGF medium, and in the nestin positive pancreatic progenitor cells remove BFGF and add nicotinamide. This will now go to differentiation phase. On differentiation, you can see here these are dopamine and serotonin secreting neurons that are formed, and on the other hand, insulin secreting pancreatic islet like clusters are formed. You can see difference is clearly visible in these two images. This is tyrosine hydroxylase and serotonin medium, while this is insulin or glucagon producing cells. Further, these cells differentiated in this differentiation phase. Coming to our next point, that is making pancreatic islet cells. Islet cells are the cells that are responsible for the secretion of insulin from the beta cells. So now we will see that how we can make these pancreatic cells from the mouse embryonic stem cells. So our topic is making pancreatic islet cells from mouse embryonic stem cells. Starting with our first point, to generate neurons that release dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. So its derived cells were cultured in medium that contained SHH and FGF8, and later an N2 medium supplemented with laminin and ascorbic acid. Coming to our next point, to generate pancreatic islet cells, however, B27 culture medium was used for stage 4 and nicotinamide was added to stage 5 cultures. Here in this diagram you can see at what point nicotinamide is added, at what point BFGF, that is fibroblast growth factor, removed, and at what point B27 media is given, and here you can see that laminin is given. Another change in the pancreatic islet culture system was to co-culture individual stage 4 or 5 embryonic stem cells which were tagged with the marker green fluorescent protein. This is also known as GFP. GFP is a fluorescent protein that is used for the recognition of various kind of proteins. So, after tagging with this green fluorescent protein with non-tagged embryonic stem cells, this meant that an individual tagged embryonic stem cell could be followed so its developmental fate could be traced. This is a unique technique that made possible the clonal analysis of the labeled embryonic stem cells and its progeny. The test that identified the differentiated cell types as pancreatic islet cells and neurons included assays of various markers. The embryonic stem cells at stage 1 and 5 expressed GATA4 and HNFB markers for embryonic endoderm and extraembryonic endoderm. This indicates that endodermal markers are present in undifferentiated embryonic stem cells. Markers are some points, or we can say that some molecules that are responsible for recognition of any molecule or any protein. We can easily distinguish any protein or any molecule with the help of these markers. So here endodermal markers are present in undifferentiated embryonic stem cells, but stage 5 cells express additional markers that are characteristic of endocrine pancreatic islet cells. Coming to the next point, taken together, the three studies show that the differentiation of lines of mouse embryonic stem cells can be directed in vitro to yield vascular structures like neurons that release dopamine and serotonin, and also endocrine pancreatic islet cells. In all three cases, proliferating undifferentiated mouse embryonic stem cells provided the starting material and functional differentiated cells were the result. Also, in all three experiments, the onset of mouse embryonic stem cells differentiation was triggered by withdrawing the cytokine LIF, that is a leukemia inhibitory factor, which promotes the division of undifferentiated mouse embryonic stem cells. Collectively, these three studies provide some of the best examples of directed differentiation of mouse embryonic stem cells in vitro, that is, outside the body. So this is all about the mouse embryonic stem cells. We have studied basics and also various kind of experiments that were performed on the mouse embryonic stem cells. Thank you very much guys for watching this session. Follow ITLS Academy on various social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, and LinkedIn. For latest videos and updates, you can subscribe our YouTube channel ITLS Academy and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever there is an upload. You can also get the app of ITLS Academy on Google Play Store. So thank you very much for watching. Like it, share with your friends and also subscribe our YouTube channel. For any help or query, you can call us on our helpline number and you can also visit our website www.itlsacademy.com. Thank you very much again. Thank you very much for connecting with ITLS Academy and for thank you very much for watching this session. Thank you.